Of course, back with our local non-league and of course victorious manager Gavin with us now for with Enfield, and great result.
In many ways, I mean, you know, the result is the result, and you come here for 3 points today. But you know, to be having the players that we've got missing at the moment and losing another one before kick-off, crucial one to us. You know, the boys are absolutely running through brick walls at the moment, and we've had to make adjustments to play Mickey on the left side. And you know, I secretly, I'm not saying I was fearful today. I think your forward teams the respect they deserve, and Cray are a good side. They've got a good management team there, experienced boys, and we'll do well this season, I think, despite the start that they've had. But I looked at the game and thought, you know what, we're going to have to readjust what we're doing, and that is never easy to do when you've been playing a certain way and playing with a certain personnel, and it hasn't changed much over those first 4 games, and we're having to change key personnel now and put in what you might badge as a few square pegs in round holes, although Mickey, what I thought was excellent at left back today, and he tells me he's played there a lot anyway, so happy days.
But he's in the bin now getting a bit of ice. But I mean, same for me as well. Carlos in that first half, a bit of a struggle for him against the rapidness of Bamba, but all of a sudden he sort of switched on, could cope with it, and I think it was almost a bit like rope-a-dope, because he'd had him running at him for so long, and by the end of it I think he was, you know, running on empty, Bamba, and Carlos had just got him sorted out.
Carlos today, you know, you're quite right in your analysis of it, but he's half fit. He's half fit. He's coming off the back of an injury. He's done a job for us today, and he's up against, you know, arguably one of the best wide players in the league. And you know, as you rightly say, it's taken him a bit of time to bed in, but when he's got there, he's been very, very good. And I can't say enough about him today, because he's not fully fit. Where that leaves him for Monday, we'll only know. But we're treating one game at a time at the minute, because I would like to have planned a little bit better for these 2 games in respect to the personnel, because it's mentally and physically sapping to go 48 hours apart. However, we'll have to see where Carlos is, because, you know, for today we've just had to put people in and try and get the result, and then pick up the pieces after.
And of course having to go in 48 hours time and play on 3G as well, which of course again is a zapping surface for you as well, especially in the weather conditions that we've had here today. I mean, a lot of people were a little bit sort of like guessing who the man in the match was going to be when they gave out. I think a lot of them were thinking Marcus Wiley, but I think me and Taffy both were not surprised to see it be Mr. Richmond.
I think he's absolutely right in that decision today. I think Jim was very, very solid for us today. Marshalled the defence really well, and you know, didn't really put a foot wrong in the entire game. So yeah, what I expect from him, you know, he's an experienced lad, and he's gone off. All of his 4 games have been pretty consistent today, but you know, he can be very proud of his performance, definitely.
And a good all-round performance completely. I mean, we were sitting up there saying, me and Taffy was saying, you know, look, you know, we think it's going to be a 1 goal in it or whatever else, and he at half time he actually called Marcus Wiley to score in the second half, and of course he's giving it some up there when he did score. But I mean, just all-round good performance in the end. It must have been. I see you could tell by the way you and the assistants and that were reacting as well. You were really pleased with it.
I'm very pleased in lots of ways. I mean, I think in some respects we might have played better this season. That's immaterial at the moment. It doesn't matter. The result is all important. I didn't expect it to be perhaps as good as we have played this season, because we are slightly disjointed with square pegs, round holes, that type of thing, and trying to fill in gaps due to the injury situation. But you know, what we've seen is a very competent performance. We've seen a very, you know, a decent level of performance again, and it proves that if we're hitting those levels, then we've got a hell of a chance of winning football matches, that's for sure. I'm certainly not getting carried away one bit. I just look at this and think, okay, we're 4 games in, all right, someone had offered me this, but I've taken it 100%, of course. But we're 4 games in, and the season can massively change around, and I'm sure Neil's saying the same to them in there. You know,
that's exactly what he said to me 5 minutes ago.
There you go. Yeah. You know, it is all it represents at the moment is a good start to the season. Okay, fans are getting carried away a little bit, which is great. Let them, because that's what they pay their money for, and that's what they come in to do, and singing and clapping the team off, and long may it continue. But there's going to be some difficult days ahead, and you know, we'll need everyone singing from the same song sheet.
And of course, you also know as well, going into that Haringey game, it's going to be a real physical game as well, going into Monday, because they're, you know, a good side, a very physical side as well.
Yeah, listen. I would, as I said to you, I would like to have planned a lot better for this weekend. However, we haven't had that luxury. You know, that's what we set out to do. You base that upon who's available and who's not available. We'll have to see how it sets up, and I'll probably look in Monday morning to see how people actually are before I make decisions about teams. You've got to look at fatigue. You've got to look at that as well, and that's one of the main things that I would normally look at. But at the moment, it's actually about people actually having the ability to get through games, because they got knocks and niggles. So, yeah, I can't say enough of the boys about the boys in a minute. They're absolutely running through brick walls for this football club, and I can't say enough about that.
So, I mean, injury-wise, though, I mean, we know, you know, Jake Cass, of course, is disappointing news. But I mean, have you heard yourself how the operation went, and are you looking to go back into the market to try and find somebody else to sort of take some of the workload off of Marcus?
Listen, yeah, I mean, firstly, the operation went well. I have spoken to Cassie, and I've had some videos of his leg to digest. So it's gone well. We just now need to look at how he rehabs, and that's a long way off before he can start doing anything at the moment. So, do I expect him out for the season? Yes, of course I do. You know, and is it a massive loss? Yes, it is. In respect to bringing someone in, yes, I think I want to work with 3 centre forwards, and at the moment we're working with 2. Dave, my philosophy is that I just won't bring anyone in. There are centre forwards around that we could sign. Are they the right centre forwards? Are they right for us on the pitch? Are they right for us off the pitch? Is there a combination of both for us? And it's not a good time to be bringing in players, because any centre forward that you're trying to replace Jake Cass with is generally going to be a centre forward that's playing at another club, and not someone that's necessarily going to be sitting on the sidelines. So I think there's got to be an element of patience in it. Yes, I have tried to bring players in. No, it hasn't happened as yet. But those players to be able to replace Jake Cass are a small pool. So there's got to be an element of patience in it. Definitely.
So all good then, eh? Going home with a smile on your face tonight. It'll be good fun.
Yes.
Another good night.
Yes, I'll enjoy the highs, because at some point there'll be some lows. You know, people will probably hammer me for saying that, because the belief might be that we can win every game, and of course we go out and set out to win every game that we play. Reality of football is that's not how it works. The winners of the league are generally the team that limits the losses. Let's get it right. So, good start, really good start. Of course, I'm pleased. I can't say enough about those boys in there and my management team. You know, let's not forget that these boys are working hard in training, but the training's got to be at a level where it produces those types of performances and produces those types of results. And you know, of course, I sit here and get videoed and you know, talk the sort of managerial speak, but you know, the boys that I've got around me are worth their weight in gold, no question. So you know, it's a big shout to them as well.
Magic. Thanks, Gavin. Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Welcome to our local non-league, and lucky today to have a special guest with us. We've got the legend himself, Mr. Neil Smith. And Neil, probably not the way you wanted things to go today.
No, I was really pleased with the first half. I thought we kept, you know, Enfield very quiet. Even the second half, we come out, we looked okay, and then we're getting punished by our mistakes at the moment. Fullback comes out with the ball, stubs his foot, and then they hit us on the break, and we didn't clear it again from the second phase. And then obviously the second goal again, defender goes to try and win it, he misses it completely, takes a ricochet and goes in. We have a chance in the second half to come back 2-1 and at 2-2, and we just don't take our chances. And at the moment, when you're down there, you do. You've got to take your chances when they come, but you've got to stop it at the other end. And I thought the 2 goals we gave away were very poor and weak today.
And captain also had to come off. Was that hamstring?
Yeah, we've lost a couple. Jack's had to come off with hamstring. Cookie has had to come off with a hamstring. Obviously, we lost George as well earlier on in the week. So you know, as I used to say, when you're down there, you know, you don't get the rub of the green and things go against you. But you know, we're going to have to work. It's still early days. It's not where we want to be, obviously. It's not how we want to be, but at the moment we will turn it around, and I'll make sure we will.
I say it's just that working hard in training and just trying to keep their heads up. Yeah.
If I put a training session on today, we'd win. But at the moment, it's transferring the training into the game situation, and we feel like it's just not clicking. But at the moment, when we do make a mistake, it's costing us, and so we've got to make sure if we're going to make mistakes, which we will, they're in the right area and not the defensive third. But I've just said to them in there, in no uncertain terms, we have got to turn it around. We can't wait for something to happen. We've got to make it happen.
And I think it's one of those things, I suppose, with your experience and your team's experience, just trying to sort of get into the players a little bit as well, isn't it? And just trying to use your experience to get their heads up and just saying, look, this is where we're
I've been there. I've been in teams, when we were fighting relegation, and it might just take a ricochet off someone's backside to get a goal, and all of a sudden it can turn around. But we've got to make sure that we put ourselves in situations where they do get a ricochet in the goal. We made a couple of chances, as I say, near the end, but it's just not. It's not enough. It's not where we want to be. It's not. We did so well last year when the experience was, and no one gave us any chance. All of a sudden, maybe everyone's putting a little bit of pressure on themselves because we got in the playoffs last year. We've got to do it again. We're the team and the club still in development. When I come in here, this wasn't for a year. It was for the long haul. We want to try and develop the club. We want to try and develop everything about it. Like we were talking about earlier in the week, we've got all the off the field stuff going on with the stadium. We just got to make sure that we get ourselves out of it. We start moving up the table and just get to playing and enjoying football. It's hard work out there for them. They've got to put the hard work in, but they're making it harder than what it is.
I thought Bamba's a bit rapid, though, isn't he?
You've got Yar, unbelievable pace. You've got Nyron, great player. If I went through them on paper, we've got to transfer the paper onto the pitch. Yeah. I look at it all. You've got Frankie Raymond in, you've got Jack Holland in there. George obviously not playing. I know I've got a good squad, but we've just got to make sure that, that the names ain't going to hurt you. It's your performances now. So we've got to start putting performance in. We've got to grind it out. We want to play better football, we know that, but sometimes you just got to grind out that first result and start building from something.
I think you can see that, I say, with Bamba, and today we were, I was upstairs and just, really impressed with Raymond. I thought he covered every sort of blade of grass on the pitch. I thought he was just everywhere. Every time you looked up, it was. I think I must have mentioned his name more than anybody else's today.
No, honestly, the first half I was really pleased. I come in, never things we need to be better at, but you just saw as that goal went in that it was like their shoulders went down. And I need leaders out there now. They can't wait for me to come in at half time or after the game, have a go at them or tell them what to do. When they're out there, I need leaders. I need people that, roll up their sleeves and just, like I said, it's not going to be free flowing all the time. It is going to be the grind. And I think we've just got to get back to grinding a result out. We need a base. We need to start. I said today, like, let our season start today, but it's not. It's going to have to start Monday now. And, I think any team in this division, we know it's a harder division than it was probably last year with more clubs being able to go for it. But, I want to be in amongst the top half. I don't want to be where we are. That's why when I come in, it was to get us out of that sort of situation. So, yeah, we've got a long season, but we're making it a lot harder than what it is.
So on a personal note, when's the party for the gold medal celebrations?
When she comes home, I rushed home this morning, literally. Was up at 5 o'clock this morning to get to the game, and my daughter's done amazing. Probably taking the shine off this tonight, but no, we're gonna celebrate. She's done amazing, winning the gold medal in the Junior European. So, God bless to her.
Listen, mate, we'll let you get back. I know you want to get some kit, so thanks for joining us.
You're amazing, Dave. Thanks,
mate.